I think it's more difficult now than it ever was before. I think for young filmmakers, it's hard getting your film made anyway. And when you do get your film made, you have to work within the system, which I think has to be learned. But I think, if you are single-minded and you have a very clear view about what it is you want to make, and you make that very clear to the people who are giving you the money, and you're professional about how you make the film, then I think that that makes it easier. I think that the thing that scares the people who give you the money the most is when filmmakers don't really understand what it is they're doing and they've changed their mind halfway through. That can be very worrying for studios and situations, but it's not any easier. You know, the days of the great European dream of the artist filmmaker being able to do anything that he or she wants, I think those days are gone. Well, I think the whole of the Hollywood film system at the moment it's polarized, really. It's geared up for the big audience at one end, which is usually large budget special effects or 3D type films, and then Hollywood also makes a much smaller film, very cheap films that might be more serious and might be more personal, made by filmmakers. And it's polarized into two different areas, and the middle area, which used to be the area where you could do serious films of some scale, that's the area that has been lost, maybe lost forever, I don't know. But it makes it difficult. A lot of films will never be made again. Great films like, Raging Bull or Godfather, those films would have fallen into that category. If I write a screenplay, I finished the film in my head. I didn't use a camera. Is that any use to anyone? I don't think so. Anyone but me, probably not. The whole point of a film and the whole beauty of film is when you communicate with an audience. And if you don't communicate with an audience, then the film has no validity in my estimation. To just make films for that very, very narrow world of festivals is just, I think it's just pretentious. It's just nonsense. Film should be made for all people. I think that cinematographers have a different area of expertise. No cinematographer is going to help me write my screenplay. That's not what they do. No cinematographer is going to help me cast my film. That's not what they do. Their area is different. And so to be there from the very beginning, well, we should be so lucky that they would be. Most cinematographers arrive when you shoot the film and they leave when you finish the film, because they go on to other work. They're not with the film. A film takes me 2 years to make, a director. It's just 3 months for a cinematographer. So you can't compare the contribution at all. If you're making a film, it's a long journey, and you want to make it with people that you really like, because he's not only there as my friend and my creative collaborator, he's there to help me make a better film. And there are times on a film when a director really needs that kind of support and strength. And if it's just someone who's just doing a technical job or just turning up on the day, it's not the same as someone who is really involved with you in trying to make a better film. That's the difference in the relationship. And as a director, because you've worked with one another so many times, you have a totally different attitude to the film you're making than someone a cinematographer who is just an employee, a hired hand, Megalomaniac. I'm very strong, yeah. I think I've always been of the opinion that a director should be seen to be making decisions. The director is the one who's in charge, in control. And if you appear not to be in control, that's very bad for every film. Because you need to be clear to the cinematographer, you have to be clear and opinionated with regards to the production design, with regards to the costume design, with regards to every single aspect. Now everyone can you can make a phone on your mobile phone, make a film on your mobile phone, and that's good in order for people to be able to express themselves. It's not good with regards to it being a good film or not. They're mostly not very good. And to do that, you still have to be educated into the area of making a film, which is to do with going to film school or making mistakes and being told what you're doing wrong. The fact that more people and everyone can make a film doesn't mean to say there's any more good films. The amount of good films that you still see in the cinema are very small number, very, very small number. This festival is so important in that first of all, it brings the greatest cinematographers in the world here in one place, and I think that is unique and special and hugely important, because I think that students, if you want to make a film, whether you're a director or whether you're a cinematographer or editor or whatever, you will learn from listening to questions to the cinematographers, because the cinematographer is at the very sharp point in the making of a film. It's absolutely at the heart of what happens. And to hear their wisdom and hear their opinions, I think is so important. If I was a student, I couldn't think of a better place to be than Camerimage.